Well, welcome to Kubo. I like to acknowledge a lot of the friends of mine that are here in the technology space. I'm so happy to be in an event where I'm among a bunch of batchmates in the room, especially in the engineering space. Welcome to Jamun, Arup, and team. Thanks so much for using our venue. Cuba's always been in the forefront of helping the innovation space, particularly the startup space, with adopting technology. In the past couple of years, or maybe 2 years, AI has sort of like emerged in the forefront of even software engineering, and we'd like to leverage AI to try to elevate the velocity of developing startups. As you may know, a lot of early stage startups have that big problem. It's the engineering side. There's a very huge gap of for tech talent, not just on the engineering space, but also on the management space, architect space, and CTO levels and CIO. So when we met with our team, we saw them as a good opportunity to try to augment the strengths and capabilities of our early stage startups to bring their product faster to market. That's actually the key, so that increase that chances of success. My slides are automatically playing, but this is what I'd like to highlight now. I was coding since 1983, which means that my exposure to AI started very early. I don't know what you said that people were exposed to it in the past couple of years. I was exposed to it for 40 plus years, and this is my. I don't know if who knows this screen. Okay, okay, and who's this? Who is this?
It's the word.
Joshua.
Joshua.
Right, Joshua. Joshua was the AI back then. I was 17 or 16 when I saw this. I'm not sure. But I was 60. I was super amazed, and I said, "We can build this." With my naive age and worldview and view of tech. But what really inspired me was this. Here's another chance. What's this movie? This came out before. By the way, War Games came out 21 years ago yesterday. FYI. Trivia. This one is that was strong. And this was a really amazing a movie that showed me what natural language AI would actually be. So it took about 40 plus years for us to get from there to now to this, and this thing's playing automatically again. AI is taking control. Yeah, right. That's Joshua. So this is GPT 4.0, and if you saw the demo, the YouTube the launch that they did, you'd be blown away by it. I don't know if we have time later, if GPT is up or if OpenAI is up later, but I wanted to do a demo with something similar. But this was their demo where GPT actually did not just generated code, but generated optimal code or based on certain parameters fed it by their user. Um, so what do we use AI for now? In the short span of 2 years, since it became super capable of assisting engineers like me, we've used it to try to augment our own basic skill sets, our own human skill sets. And since been using this AI in things like user story design, feature stories, planning and design, code generation, of course, co-pilot, code correction, code reviews, code reviews using Code Rabbit. If your workflow includes that in your process where you have to review code before hitting staging and production. Testing and deployment, yes. QA, DevOps, and incident response. Now, personally, in our team, we've used these already. Code generation, QA, and code reviews. We haven't done everything else because it's super new and it's a little scary to try to integrate it into our own workflow without proper testing, proper study, and proper study. So where is it falling behind? We've determined, at least for now, that AI can't do these things yet. The process and best practices that we ourselves put together, analysis and scoping. For example, going to the different departments in your enterprise and interviewing the finance department, the bookkeeping department, the logistics, the warehousing. You have to actually bring a human with you for now, and then go there and investigate and design. We also it still lacks culture and empathy. So when you're dealing with users, when you're dealing with the ones that require these systems, we as humans can read body language, can behave according to the local culture, talk in slang, talk in comfortable language so that we can get more out of the conversation. And of course, empathy. And the last would be convenient tool sets. Right now, things are disparate. It's very early in the game for the AI tools. There are tools already. There are probably hundreds of tools out there now that we have to sift through. But we're still at that stage where we're still putting all sorts of things together and using us as our own personal tool set. There's no coherent and convenient tool set in one place that we can use out of the box. Aside from that, what do we need now to do? We actually have to introduce the concept of experts in the loop, people like us. AI will not operate on its own autonomously and say, for now, who knows? But right now, when we want to introduce AI into our enterprise, we have to interfere. We have to intervene, and that's very important because that's the only way we can definitely get or actually get success from AI implementation or AI integration into processes. We also need to enforce the best practices that we put in place. We can't just say these are the parameters, this is a flow chart you have to follow, and then expect the AI to conform to it. Not yet, at least. And then the consolidated platform. These are the things that we need to harness nowadays or today so that we can effectively integrate AI into the enterprise. Okay, thank you. That was very quick. I just wanted to make it quick. I don't know if OpenAI is up already. Okay, because I wanted to do a demo, but maybe if we have time later, I'll just tell you about what I did. I prepared for it. When I started coding in 83, I coded in a machine like this. This is called the ZX81. Some of you may actually be, or it's a Timex Sinclair 1000. It's got 2K of RAM on board. And the people that are laughing are probably recognize it. And then expandable to 16K. So what I did was, I taught myself how to code, and this is what gave me brought me to my career path, because I coded a payroll program as requested by my brother-in-law. He said, I'm a contractor. I need to have a payroll program, and these are the parameters: first name, last name, the employee details, the deductions, withholding tax, vale, SSS, pag-ibig. That's it. And then I need to compute for that every week. So I did. And what I did was I completed this, and I used to go to this software distributor and to bring it there and have him sell it. I tried to convince him to sell it to the other owners of this computer. And we refined it over time, and he agreed. He bought it from me. He sold it for royalty, and I got some royalties from it from the sale. That was the start of my career. That's in 1983. What I did with uh, Chat GPT is that I imagined that I was um, going back in time to 1983 and uh, 1983 to teach ChatGPT what my brother-in-law was asking me to do for this machine. So let's try it out there. Alam mo bilis, I'll just paste the prompts. So the first prompt I did was, you're a computer programmer from 1983, adept at Sinclair ZX81, basic coding of the ZX81. That's a classic skill. How do you find? Now, this was the prompt that was the heaviest. Write me a payroll program based on an employee database with the following fields: last name, first name, age, basic pay, numeric, with deductions from basic pay as follows: 10% withholding tax, automatically computed from basic pay, valid advance on salary made by employees in the current payroll period, SS deductions of 100 pesos, giving deductions 300, field deduction 100, all amounts are in Philippine pesos. The data will be stored in arrays. And it generated this for me in a couple of seconds. You know, imagine how many hours it took me to do this back in 1980 myself. So I defined it further with another prompt. Make the number of employees a constant of 100, add the ability to edit or delete each array row. By the way, our storage here was cassette tape store. So we stored the arrays and we saved the entire source code. The data was non-volatile and stayed in the array. We figured out a way how to do it. So ChatGPT did this for me. It's a bit slow now. I don't know why, but it's way faster than how I did it. And so there are the enhancements. It did whatever I asked it to do, and I gave it a final instruction. No, not final, but for those that are familiar with basic programming, you know what the difference between a goto and a go-sub is. Goto is just a jump in the code to a different line. Go-sub is to a subroutine. It's a typical functional programming structure where you go to subroutine, you return, you go back to where you came from. And it did it. It structured my program in a much more cleaner, more elegant, more refactored way of coding. Then add an employee feature. That's the thing that I did. That was the last one. Add employee. So there you have it, all the prompts, the commands, summary, etc., etc. So imagine, I'm imagining myself going back in time, sort of like a Terminator, and then doing this to a young Jay Fajardo and killing his career for good. So I was so tempted to actually give an instruction, run this on a ZX81 emulator. I couldn't. But it told me where to get emulators off the web, download it, and try to run the phone. I didn't have enough time to actually do it, but I probably could have with that. I'd like to end and thank you for listening. I'll be around. Please ask the questions. I'd like to pass it back on to Burns so that he can tell you more about Xamun, a much more efficient way of doing this. Thank you so much.